Hello and welcome back, and today I want to continue my look at Reolink IP cameras. I already did the C2 Pro earlier on in a previous video, but today I want to talk about a PoE camera that's part of their 2018-19 series. Once again, like many of their units, these are upgrades of the previous versions that are upgraded all the way across the board, not just in terms of hardware inside, but hardware outside, and making them remarkably affordable too. Today I want to talk about the Reolink 420. Now the RLC-420 arrives in two versions, a 4 megapixel and a 5 megapixel. Today we're talking about the 5 megapixel. It's available now for around £60 to £70 depending on where you shop around, and it is a PoE camera. For those that aren't aware, PoE means power over Ethernet. It means the device is powered via the direct connection via LAN, that's the network cable you pop in the rear, and that connects to a PoE switch. That is a normal switch that actually supplies power to the connected network devices, and this is such like it. A lot of switches are and cameras are PoE compatible because so many of you out there have cameras all dotted all the way around your home or business, but don't have lots of wires, or they're located in places where a power cable is just not suitable. Now, this device is an outdoor camera as well. It's IP66 certified, which means it is weatherproof in a number of ways, most important of which being waterproof, but then of course dust and frost and stuff like that. So that is definitely something worth bearing in mind. So if a camera says it's for outdoors but it's not IP66 certified, avoid it, okay? Very different story. Now again, there are other IP camera brands out there. This isn't the only camera brand I've talked about here on the channel, but one of the reasons I talk about Reolink a lot is because one, I've dealt with a lot of their cameras, and two, price for price, they are one of the best cameras out there. They've got great hardware, great software, their own software I'm not really going to talk about on the video, as well as a good support system as well, because I've had one camera die on me in the last 18 months and I've had about 12 cameras, and the reason the camera died was transit related. It was a courier, not the brand themselves, and they had a replacement unit out to me in 48 hours. So again, not too shabby, but enough salesmanship. Let's talk about why I'm talking about this on this channel. Well, first and foremost, this is an IP camera for NAS. That means whether you've got a Synology NAS, QNAP NAS, a WD NAS, it doesn't matter. This is supported by your NAS brand. Again, that means if you're using Surveillance Station, QVR Pro, Milestone, anything like that, or Acer stores one as well, their surveillance software, whichever one you use, this camera will be picked up on that area network. Now, we do have another video in process happening with this little Reolink here. I'm recording this for another video. What I'm talking about here, the other side of this camera, will be shown in that video. But again, for outdoor use, I wouldn't recommend one of these little bad boys. You've got to go for something a little bit sturdier. So that's enough talking about the damn thing. You want to have a look at it, don't you? You want to watch an unboxing video for any other reason. Inside, we have our first time instruction manual. I've got a new camera set up, by the way, so I'm sorry if my eyes keep flicking to the wrong side. We have certificate of conformity, which means it's legally able to be sold in this country. On top of that, we've got the installation for wall mounting. So you've got this there that you can, it's an adhesive label you stick to your wall, and then when you use the bracket that's going to come later on, you've got the screw holes there built in. You've also got the how to install camera, and again, image based. It isn't like a tacky thing. There's a lot of information there. On top of that, your quick start information guide there in several languages, as well as German and English in a completely separate book. So again, there's lots of dedicated information there. I did talk about it in the other video, as well as in the NT articles. It is a fairly graphic affair, very straightforward, and it does keep things very simple indeed. But do bear in mind, once again, they do have their own software for Mac and Windows and portable devices, but I want to talk today about how it's compatible with NAS, because so many of you have invested in a NAS system and you're trying to maximize in your investment. It's more than just a Plex server or a backup device or for downloads and stuff like that. You want to make the most of it, and one of the ways in which a number of you do make the most of it is with a camera and the surveillance software. A couple of cameras dotted around your home. These two cameras you can see on screen here, that's about 160, 150 quid spend there for those two, and then you've got an outdoor camera and you've got an indoor camera, and that's it, you're fine. And then the software from NAS will take care of the rest. It's got all the rest of the motion detection, night and daytime detection, all the different kinds there, and of course the software itself is incredibly bespoke. This video isn't about the NAS software, we've got other videos for that. This is about the camera. We have got LAN cable there, and again it's a Cat6a cable included, not a hugely long cable, it's about 1 metre. Have a look, yeah, give or take, it's about 1 metre cable there. Screwdriver included. I do love that when Eastern companies include a screwdriver. You end up with so many of these damn things, but when you need one, can you find one? Inside, if we carry on, we have got a large piece of protective foam, and I do mean a large piece of foam. Have a good look at that. Obviously it's relative, like that. And we've got the camera itself there that we'll unwrap in just a moment. And we have got a mounting bracket there to keep things waterproof with a washer inside, as well as some wall brackets and screws there. So you've got the little raw plugs as well to get that wall mounted as soon as possible. If we open up this furthermore, you can see that again this leans into that weatherproof thing, that IP66, that the cable itself is ready attached. It is by the mic. It's a metal heavy duty camera there, and if you look connected on the other end there, and if I bring that up to the camera, we've got LAN connectivity and we've got 2 kinds of power connector as well. Do remember you can get a PoE injector which allows you to connect a PoE camera to mains power, but you will have to pay extra for that little device. It's not very expensive, but if you want to use a camera like this but you don't want to rely on power over Ethernet, that is an option. We've got the brackets there and the screws in the bottom, and the device itself has got a whole host of LEDs there built into the front of it, primarily 18 LEDs which denote at night time up to 100 feet or 30 meters of coverage whilst at night, which is incredibly useful. And remember, with some NAS software promoting motion tracking, that's definitely something to bear in mind. It supports 5 megapixel recording, that's a resolution of 2560 by 1920, which again, pretty impressive indeed, with an 80-degree angle of movement. So again, this isn't free motion all the way around, this is just that one axis, but in the right position, you will see a lot more coverage from that. And do bear in mind that you are going to struggle sometimes to find 360-degree coverage cameras that are weatherproof. You're going to have to go for a dome cam or something like that, which we'll cover in our other video. On top of that, being the motion detection, it also has a built-in microphone, so it can record sound too. But do bear in mind, if you are outside and it's windy, that microphone probably isn't going to capture as much as you'd like. But the camera itself is pretty damn sturdy. Once again, to put that into perspective, I'm not going to take that camera because that camera we're using for another video. But this is this camera here. This is a plastic one. And it sounds quite hollow, doesn't it? Don't worry about that rattling noise. That would be my fault for dropping it off camera. Whereas this one, very sturdy device indeed. And again, we will be doing the full access test along with NAS software as well as the mobile application in upcoming videos. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. I do recommend this for outdoor use, but I will be doing a full test of this, hopefully in the rain and the frost of January in the coming weeks. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this, don't forget to click like and subscribe, because this channel, like many, doesn't have a Patreon, doesn't have a PayPal or anything like that. It's supported by your views and your engagement, so do let me know if you've enjoyed this. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Do check out the NAS Compare article to learn more, and I'll see you on the next video.